Thailand's beaches are eerily empty, hotels are shuttering left and right, and arrivals have plunged 7 to 18% in key periods as the once unbeatable Land of Smiles grapples with a brutal 2026 tourism crisis driven by a punishingly strong baht, safety scares, border tensions, and fierce competition from cheaper rivals like Vietnam. Expats who once dreamed of paradise are packing up for good, swearing they'll never return, and even short-term tourists are giving it a hard pass after one visit. But the real question burning in your mind is, what exactly broke Thailand's tourism dream so badly that people who loved it are walking away forever? This message arrived 3 weeks ago from a viewer named Ryan Patel. When I finished reading it, I sat in silence for nearly an hour. My coffee grew cold on the table. The fan spun slowly above my head in the quiet apartment. Outside, the Phuket street sounded empty. No scooters buzzing, no tourists laughing, just the soft hum of waves far away. While Ryan's words hit hard because they match what I saw every day. He wrote about friends leaving, beaches with no footprints, hotels with closed signs. He asked why paradise felt broken now. My name is David Hayes. I am 61 years old, originally from Sydney. I came to Thailand 10 years ago thinking I had found the perfect life. I did everything right. I read books and watched videos for 2 full years before I packed my bags. And I learned basic Thai words so I could talk to shop owners and taxi drivers. I kept my money in Australian accounts and never mixed it with local ones. I rented a small condo near the beach in Phuket instead of buying anything risky. I made friends slowly and carefully. For a long time, it felt like heaven. Warm sun on my skin every morning. Fresh mango, sticky rice from the market for breakfast, friendly smiles from neighbors, cheap rent that left money for weekend trips to the islands. But now, in 2026, everything has changed. The beaches that used to be full of people lie quiet. Chairs sit empty under umbrellas. Hotels that once had long lines at check-in now show closed for good signs on their gates. I walk past them on my morning stroll and feel a knot in my stomach. Friends who swore they would stay forever are booking flights home. Some go to Vietnam, some go back to Australia or Europe. They say the same thing. I'm never coming back. Not for a holiday. Not even for a quick visit. The words feel final, like a door slamming shut. What makes this different is how fast it happened. Last year, crowds still filled Patong Beach. Boats still took people to Phi Phi. Now, the numbers tell a sad story. Tourist arrivals drop 7 to 18% in the busy months. Planes land half full. Shops that sold souvenirs stand dark. The strong baht makes everything cost more for visitors from other countries. A meal that used to feel cheap now hurts the wallet. Safety news from faraway borders makes people nervous. New rules for visas and taxes add extra worry. Other places like Vietnam offer lower prices, easier stays, and the same beautiful beaches. Thailand used to win every time. Not anymore. I am not the only one who feels this way. Dozens of expats I know, some rich, some on small pensions, some single, some married, are reaching the same end. They pack their things quietly. They say goodbye to the life they built. They leave for good. Ryan wanted me to share not just his worry, but the stories of 6 other men I know well. 7 reasons, he called them. 7 ways the tourism dream fell apart in 2026. Some of these stories will make you angry. Some will make you sad. Some might change your travel plans forever. But everyone is true, and everyone is happening right now to people just like you in a country that once called itself paradise. While you watch this, please tell me in the comments where you are tuning in from. And I read every one. These stories touch people all over the world. If you like real talk about places we love, hit the subscribe button. Your support helps me keep sharing the truth, even when it hurts. Thank you for being here. Now let me tell you the 7 reasons why expats are never coming back. I started with my old friend Paul Reynolds. Paul came to Phuket the same year I did. He was 58 then, from Melbourne, a retired mechanic with rough hands and a quiet laugh. He loved the sea so much he rented a little house right on the sand. Back then, a cold beer cost 60 baht and a plate of pad thai was 50. Paul said Thailand was his forever home. But in 2026, that beer now costs 120 baht. The pad thai jumped to 122. His pension from Australia buys less every month. The strong baht turned his dream into a tight squeeze. He told me one evening on his porch, waves crashing soft in the dark, "David, I can't keep up. I'm eating rice and eggs most days." He packed last month. He said he would never come back, not even for a weekend. Next was Sarah Klein. She handled visas for many of us. Sarah was 55, from Canada, smart and careful. She got the new long-term visa right away, but the rules kept changing. One month you needed extra papers, the next month they froze bank accounts for checks. Sarah spent hours at immigration offices. Lines stretched outside in the hot sun. Officers asked the same questions again and again. She paid agents 10,000 baht each time just to get forms stamped. The worry never stopped. She woke up at night thinking about the next rule twist. Last spring, she gave up. She moved to Vietnam. At least there, the rules stay the same for a while, she said. She books no flights to Thailand now. Then came Mike Torres. Mike ran a small tour boat in Krabi. He was 62, from Texas, big smile and loud voice. He loved showing people the limestone cliffs. In the old days, his boat filled every day. Tourists tipped well, but last year crowds got too big. People pushed and shoved at the beaches. Locals got angry about trash and noise. They started double prices just for foreigners, 200 baht for a coffee that Thais paid 80 for. Mike saw fights break out. Guests complained the smiles felt fake. Mike's bookings dropped 60%. He sold the boat cheap and left for the Philippines. The welcome is gone, he told me over a last beer. His voice cracked a little. Liam Chen was careful about safety. He was 57, from Singapore, always checked news. Last year, stories spread fast, scams in Bangkok, tensions at borders, even small crimes that made headlines worldwide. Liam felt eyes on him when he walked alone at night. He stopped going to night markets. His heart raced at loud noises. Friends back home sent messages. "Is it safe?" He answered no more. And he flew home and told everyone to skip Thailand. "One bad story is enough," he said. Now he warns his family never to visit. Emma Ruiz loved the old quiet spots. She was 60, from New Zealand. She hiked trails and swam in clear water. But in 2026, many beaches looked different. Hotels stood empty with broken windows. Plastic bottles floated in the shallows. Overbuilding left scars on the hills. She walked a once busy resort strip. Chairs stacked, paint peeling, wind blowing through open doors. Only 10 or 15 people on a beach that held hundreds before. She cried on the phone to me, "It's not paradise anymore." She booked to Bali and said goodbye forever. The last friend before me was Carlos Mendes. Carlos was 59, from Brazil. He tried Thailand first, then looked around. Vietnam had cheaper rooms, half the price for the same view. Malaysia gave easy visas with no big fees. The Philippines had warm people and fresh food. Carlos tested them all on short trips. He came back shaking his head. Thailand used to be the best. Now the others win every time. He moved to Da Nang and posts photos of full beaches and happy faces. He told me, I won't waste money coming back. These stories built up inside me like storm clouds. Each one showed another crack in the dream. I started to see my own life the same way. The math no longer added up. The welcome had faded. The magic felt gone. The stories kept coming back to me like waves that would not stop. Every night I sat on my balcony with the sea breeze cool on my face. The moon made silver paths on the dark water, but the beach below stayed empty. No fires, no music, no voices laughing, just the soft crash of waves and the distant bark of a stray dog. I thought about Paul eating rice alone, Sarah waiting in hot lines, Mike selling his boat for almost nothing, Liam afraid to walk at night, Emma crying over broken beaches, Carlos smiling in photos from Vietnam, their faces mixed in my mind like old photos fading at the edges. I pulled out my notebook one morning. The sun was already hot at 8 o'clock. I wrote down the numbers I had ignored for too long. Tourist arrivals this year down 12% from last year. Some months even 18% less. My rent had gone from 18,000 baht to 28,000 in 10 years. Electricity bills doubled. A simple coffee now costs 100 baht instead of 50. My Australian pension stayed the same size, but in baht it bought less every month. I did the math on paper. Savings that used to last 25 years now might last only 12. At 61, that scared me deep in my chest. I felt my heart beat faster. What if I got sick? What if another rule changed and I had to leave fast? The knot in my stomach grew tight. I walked the old paths I loved. The trail to the viewpoint used to have people taking pictures. Now leaves covered the ground and no one came. I sat on a rock and looked down at the bay. Half the hotels along the shore had boards over windows, paint peeled in long strips, chairs rusted under trees. A sign said, "For sale," but no one looked. I remembered the first time I saw this view. The water sparkled blue. Boats bobbed, full of happy faces. I thought I had found my place forever. Now the sparkle looked dull. The boats sat tied up and empty. I felt tears sting my eyes. Not big tears, just quiet ones. The dream I built here was slipping away like sand through my fingers. Friends messaged me every week. "You still there?" they asked. "Thinking of coming back?" I answered no more. One by one they left. Some to Portugal with steady rules and good doctors. Some to Vietnam with low prices and warm welcomes. They sent pictures of full cafes and smiling locals. I looked at those photos and felt a pull. Thailand had given me 10 good years. Warm sun on my skin, fresh fruit every day, nights with stars so bright they hurt to look at. But 2026 showed the truth. The crowds came too fast and left too soon. Prices rose too high, the smiles turned tired. The rules kept shifting like wind. The welcome felt thin. I made the call that afternoon. When I sat at my small table with the fan blowing papers around, I booked a one-way ticket. My hands shook a little as I clicked confirm. The screen showed the date, 3 weeks from now. I would leave Phuket for good. No looking back, no short visits. The place that once felt like home now felt like a hotel room I had stayed in too long. I closed the laptop and listened to the quiet street outside. A single scooter passed, then nothing. The silence said it all. The tourism dream was over. And so was my time here. The taxi pulled up outside my condo at exactly 7:15 in the morning. The engine idled low while the driver waited. I stood in the doorway with one small suitcase by my feet. 12 boxes had already shipped 2 days ago. They held clothes, a few books, photos of old beach days, and not much else. 10 years in Thailand fit into those boxes and this one bag. I looked around the empty room one last time. The fan still spun slow circles on the ceiling. Sunlight came through the window in thin yellow lines and made dust dance in the air. The walls looked bigger without my things on them. The place felt like someone else's home now. I stepped outside and closed the door behind me with a soft click. The lock turned easy, no more key to carry. The air smelled of salt and wet grass from last night's rain. Birds called from the trees across the street, sharp and clear, but no music drifted from the beach bars. No voices shouted hello. The path to the road was quiet. I walked past the empty pool chairs stacked against the wall. A lizard ran quick across the tiles and disappeared into cracks. I felt the warmth of the sun on my arms already, the same sun that had felt so good for so many mornings. In the taxi, the driver asked where to. "Airport," I said. He nodded and pulled away slow. We passed the old market street. Stalls stood half open with few customers. A woman swept leaves from the sidewalk. She looked up and gave a small wave. I waved back. My throat felt tight. We drove by the big hotel that used to have lines of people with suitcases. Now the gate was locked, and weeds grew tall around the sign. The beach road looked wide and empty. Chairs sat folded under umbrellas that flapped in the breeze. The water sparkled blue like always, but no boats cut through it. No kids ran along the sand, just a few stray dogs sleeping in the shade. I thought about the advice I wanted to give. If you still dream of Thailand, look hard at the facts first. Check the prices in 2026. A room that cost 1,500 baht a night now asks 3,000 or more. Food costs twice what it used to. Visas change fast and cost extra fees. Other countries like Vietnam or the Philippines give the same sun and sea for less money and less worry. Do not put all your hopes in one place. Keep money ready to leave if things turn. Build real plans, not just dreams. Understand you are a guest here. Guests can have wonderful times, but guests who stay too long sometimes find the welcome gone when they need it most. The taxi reached the airport turn. Planes roared overhead. I paid the driver and stepped out. The air smelled of jet fuel and hot pavement. I pulled my suitcase toward the doors. My steps felt heavy but sure. Thailand gave me 10 years of warm nights and fresh fruit and smiles that lit up dark evenings. I would carry those memories forever, but the prices climbed too high. The crowds came and went too fast. The rules bent too many times. The dream broke in 2026, and I could not fix it. I turned for one last look. The mountains stood green against the sky. The sea stretched far and calm. Goodbye, Thailand. You were magic once. Now it's time to move on. The glass doors slid open. Cool air rushed out to meet me. I stepped inside and let them close behind.